We are so excited about everything, and I just love getting on the call and talking to our team. And because we're all about Surge, we're all about Surge 365. It's our business, and this is what we do. And so we don't work for Surge. Surge does not work for us. We are together as one with Surge. And so, however you want to identify yourself, I was trying to remember the quote that one of Rick's, I think Burl, not Burl, I think it was Joel. Rick, you can correct me. I think it was Joel. Both of them have gone on to glory. God rest their soul. But I think it was Joel who said to Rick, "You're not in Surge, or you're not, or Surge is not in you," or something like that. But showing that it's just a vehicle that you use to achieve your goals. And so I liked how he was explaining that to him, because he was a very successful entrepreneur in different things that he did. And so we still are connected with the whole Hope and his wife, and just a beautiful lady. But anyway, and we went on a cruise with them, and we have the great pictures when we were on a cruise, and I got them to do the fish spa with me, and it was just a lot of fun. And when you look back at those memories, and you just realize how fast time goes, and so there's no time to sit back and feel sad and woe is me and why not me. Yes, you're living your life, so live it to the fullest and enjoy it. And especially around this time of season, just enjoy it. Smell the cinnamon in the acorn. Just enjoy what's going on in your life now, and just enjoy it. So that's the only thing I can say, is just to enjoy it. But also, back to our business, they're having a big directors meeting this weekend in Houston. I'm quite sure some of you have seen your directors post on social media that they're heading down there. So fingers crossed on some great ideas that come out of there, and just a bunch of great time that they have together. So I thought that was really interesting to see that they're all flying down there. And then you have different people. If you received your email from Surge 365, you might want to check that out, because there are several people throughout the different states having weekly events at different hotels. And so they're getting that ramped up again. After the virus hit, people kind of slowed away from doing group meetings, but they're beginning to do those again. And so they sent an email out, and the email showed all the different places that they're having a weekly meeting. And so definitely check that. If there's one near you, I would definitely go to it. I would bring people with me, because if you feel comfortable being in that type of environment with a lot of people around, go. If you don't and you still want to go, put your mask on. You'll be okay. And just go and have a great time fellowshipping with all of our Surge family throughout the states, having all these physical meetings right now. And during this time, I thought it would be fun, but we'll see what comes out of this meeting. If the company does, I don't know if you remember, Chantel and I were talking about this, how Coach did the fireside chat, right around the holidays, and he would tell a story, and they would just do it like a Zoom or Skype. I don't remember which one they used, but everybody would log on to that and just listen to him, almost be like, Santa Christmas or whatever, and just give some nice news or a nice little story. And I think that's the kind of stuff that really keeps a company together, when you can hear, when you're doing different things, and it's not all about the numbers. And of course, the numbers are important. I'm not trying to belittle the numbers, but there's so much that goes with the numbers. There's so much that goes with lifting people up in order for them to achieve the numbers. And then, of course, if they don't, continue to lift them up and let them know that they can. And I think that's a very important thing for us to remember to do during this time, all the time really, with our business, is helping people remember that the numbers are important, yes, but also all the other things that go with the numbers is very important. And along with that, Rick put a video out that shows all the different things you can do with your Surge 365 business, and everybody's loving that. So it'd be great if the company kind of takes hold of that and puts that out there and celebrate everyone for everything they're doing. The ones that are bringing in the numbers, the ones that are bringing in the travel commissions, just everything that everybody is doing. I think we should get back into that. And I don't know, some of you on here might remember those YTB pins that we had when we would finish a class. We got the pins, and then also when people would join, they got the complete booklet, that had a hard copy booklet. It was a nice little suitcase looking box that they got when they came into the business. Those kind of things are very important to people. And of course, we know people love to be recognized. So maybe we can kind of turn back the hands a little bit and get back into those things, even if it's just emailing someone something, and then it's up to them to get it printed out. But it's nothing like getting something in the mail. People love packages. That's why Amazon does so well, because people love getting packages. And so if we could figure out a way to do something like that, where people can start receiving things from the company to recognize them with different ideas. So this is what the meeting for this weekend is all about. So hopefully they come up with some really great ideas. We put some of our thoughts out there to the different directors that are going. And so hopefully they will get that to the group, and they'll settle on something that we can do. But I do think, I remember the pins was a big deal when you completed a training that we did. And I know we even came up there where you guys are and did a big training and gave out pins once everybody was done with the training. And we still, I don't know where they are, but I know we had still a bag of pins left that said YTB. So it would be interesting if they can come up with something like that for Surge, because, well, like we know, and it hasn't changed, recognition is a big thing. Folks love to be recognized for no matter what it is. And even when we do the $500 bonus, $1,000 bonus, $10,000 bonus, and just, putting their picture out on Facebook, everybody liking it, there's something nice too about, because once that, and I know you guys can contest to this, once you cash that check, it's gone, it's over with. It's gone, it's done. So to have some kind of pin or some type of certificate that says you have it, what I did with our last one, I took a copy of it and I wrote on it, and I put it on my wall next to my my dream board. I put it up there and put little notes on it, and I said, this times 5 each day or more. And I got the or more from one lady on our Monday night call. I thought it was really great because she said she was praying and she was asking for things, and she said she didn't want to sell God short. So she would always add and more, and more. So I don't want you to just stop on this dollar amount, whatever. So when we're setting our goals and our dreams and different things that we want to achieve with Surge 365, don't forget the and more. So when you're saying what you want to do and what you want, just say and more. It never hurts. I thought that was really good, and more. So don't sell yourself short, because you never know. And more is very important. So I thought that was really good. But I think that would be a great idea to do something like that. Anybody else have any ideas as to what we could do?
Hello.
Okay.
Hello, leaders. I am loving what you're talking about. And a few last weekend sitting with millionaires and billionaires, and you know what they talked about that was so important to people is recognizing the people and rewarding them, even for the tiniest of acknowledging a person is something, because some people are never acknowledged. And everybody in here is valued. So finding a way to say thank you. And I hope we all do this, because we don't know what tomorrow holds. But today, what can I do to celebrate you today? You know, what can I do to celebrate myself today? To encourage you to move forward. I was reflecting. If you're on my Facebook post, you will see some of that this morning. I woke up reflecting on taking a look back and looking at the sacrifices that have been made for us, looking at all the partners and people that have come into our lives that sacrificed something so I could sit in this chair right here today and just reminisce with you and see that we are walking here in victory. And I put the word inspired to inspire. I hope that's what my life represents for many people because, you know, we go through some things in life. We are in the holidays. Everybody's not dancing and clapping it, but we want you to. It is a decision that we each get to make because we're here. And when we make that decision, so many people are included in that. One thing we've been doing lately is with the team, I call them all leaders because you came here with fruit. You came here with something in your hand before you hit Service 365 or whatever that is, that tool that's in our hands. You came here, so I call all our people leaders. And some of the leaders, we have just been getting together and going into the process and says, what in here can I use that is bringing passion forth in me? And just letting them see that this tool in our hand is really great. But we have to put ourselves into the process and stay in the process. And that's when that joy comes back to remember why I came here. So I can see us doing a meeting is about to kick up over here. They just hearing this. I'm not sure how that's gonna happen, but it's going to happen. Coming into a new year, we are the leaders here. We were chosen for this. We cannot sit down any longer. We need to get up and rejoice and show people that, you know what? Together, we can, if we can just help one person in here in this community, we've done great. Thank you. Back to you, Rick and Brenda.
That is so true. Anybody else? I love all those ideas. Go ahead.
I really like that, what Chantel and what you're saying. I mean, recognition as you was talking, I was just thinking, I said, recognition matters. And I want you to really hear this, whether it's you recognizing yourself or others recognizing you. It's so important even for you recognizing yourself and making statements in the mirror even to yourself. Recognition, I think, is kind of neutral regardless of who it comes from. It doesn't matter if it comes external or internal. If you even say kind things of recognition to yourself, you know, your mind doesn't even know if it's you or somebody else, oddly enough. And if you say, you know, I saw what you did and I thought it was great. And I, for one, just want to recognize you. Do you know that even if you say that to yourself, there's something that happens on the inside that brings more? And like you said, Brenda, and more. But there's something we actually control, that whatever that intangible thing is that comes from recognition. We actually control that not only for others, but for ourselves. Back to you, Brenda.
Wow, that's good. That's true. Anybody else? You know, what I was also thinking about too, I know, Chantel, you sat there and you listened to Worry's training that he had this weekend, and kudos to you, because that's how you build a business. The more you learn, the more you earn. That's a statement that's so true. And with you sitting there, and I know you were sharing with me throughout the weekend the different things that you were learning. And I remember the whole recognition part that he talked about and how he realized that people are not recognized. So you want to recognize the people. And I think that would be really, really good. Rick and I were sitting here and I was looking at the email that I was talking about at the beginning with the different leaders having weekly meetings. And I said, man, I go to a meeting maybe twice a month. if we're pulling in 300 to 400 people at this meeting, I would have to be there. And that would make it worth our while to be there, because then the people are excited to meet you and you haven't met the people. And every 2 weeks you go, there's 100 new people that you're meeting. That's exciting. And that's something that we could actually write down, because just because we're in one area, that doesn't mean that your business can explode in another area, because wherever it is, you go to the meeting. And so when you said you were going to have, you're going to figure out how to do a weekly meetings, kudos to you. Because I know when Rick and I first started, we had meetings in our basement. Now, of course, our home was a nice size, but in the basement, we could sit quite a few people comfortably. And I remember at the beginning, we pulled out these chairs and we just pushed the button because it was a DVD. And we had a good 10 to 20 people in our basement.
All those chairs.
Watching the presentation. And I had a nice little counter, and I kept it simple because we learned this back in our Amway days. Keep it simple so the new person won't think that they have to do some extravagant, charcuterie board with all this different stuff. And so I had to really hold my hand, because I could do that. I could pull out a nice little spread, but I would just do water, coffee, and chips is what I would put out. Water, coffee, and chips. And then sometimes I'd put out cookies because I had, I got to have something sweet, blah, blah, blah. And then I'd do popcorn. But I would try not to overdo it, because I want the new person to know that you can do this too. It's very simple. And you can have people come into your living room and have a pot of coffee on and have a meeting. So, and it's okay. If we have to go right on ahead.
There's so many changes, and pre-COVID was exactly that, with the meetings, and COVID was just a major shift for the world, and especially us. I mean, we had a big meeting going up here that was just so awesome. But it entered into the age of the Zoom. It actually gave us a bigger reach, but it was in-house, and we always, Chantel was really good about printing up certificates, awards, recognition. We would hand out screens for presentations to team members that got accomplishments. We just do those things. And then I thought back to one of the last conventions pre-COVID in San Diego, when we got together with Vaughn and his team, and they handed out all of those trophies. And, one thing is important to remember, and I have to remind myself of it all the time, that not everybody requires the same amount of reward. What do you call it? Recognition. And so we have to be mindful of that as well. I'm someone that, I could take it or leave it. It's just kind of the way I am, kind of the way I was brought up. But, some people need more than others, and it's important that we respect that as well. So, yes, to get back to the awards, even to if we had to get those, use the new season that we're in, and you can do those certificates and email them and let them print them out. You still get them there, but I'm total agreement with the recognition for achievements and accomplishments. Back to you, Brenda.
Wow. I'm like you, Glenn. I really don't need it. Just give me the cash. I'm like you, but like we know, a lot of people, they love that, and it's probably because they don't get it anywhere else. You know what I mean? They don't get recognition anywhere else, and when they join our business, it's like you're joining a gang. Period. I mean, you're not going to hurt or kill anybody. All you want to do is travel and make money, but you're joining to be a part of something. And people, when they join to be a part of something, they need to feel recognized. And I think that is the miracle sauce, if you want to call it that, that Coach had. Coach had a great spirit of being able to making everyone in the room feel like they're special. Everyone he met, he was able to make them feel so special. And I think that is what's happening with a lot of the other companies out there, is because their leader learned from Coach. They've learned from Coach how to make everyone feel special, how to make everyone feel like this wouldn't go on without you. And that's something that it can be learned, but then it's something that someone has naturally, like the Pied Piper kind of thing. And so we need to be able to find that with whoever, how we can find that, but to let people know that, and then people are excited to want to come to events. They're excited to want to come and meet the leadership and meet the home office and meet, because the people really care about them and they really want them to stay and feel a part of something like a big family. So yeah, that is very important, but there's something that we have to figure out how to get. Because like you do, Chantel, you ask people, why are you here? Why are you in the business? Go ahead. Does somebody want to say something?
It's important for that tool has to be in the leader's toolbox, even unto,
yes.
And I'm just going to mention this, what Rick did for Coach. The leaders need that as well. With Coach's retirement and the recognition, that was just one of the most awesome moments in our whole experience with this business and this company. Back to you, Brenda.
Yes. Wow. Anybody else?
That, what you just said was huge. When was the last time we recognized our leaders besides Coach? Because sometimes we're so busy thinking me, I, us. You know what? They are running hard every day. They are running hard every day in their sleep. And I'm telling you, we pray for these people every day. I'm calling you by name, and I'm starting to make a list and adding people to the list, because everybody needs to be encouraged at their levels. Do you understand that your leaders get tired? Leaders get tired. And they're looking like, well, where's my leaders in the room? Our company is in a transition. Coach is about to turn 90 years old. January the 11th. I think Dwayne is the day before, the day after. We're in a pivotal moment in the history of our company. How can we put ourselves in a place? Because like I said, I call all the people leaders. Why do I do that? Because you need to understand that when you chose to come here, you had a purpose here. You came here with whatever you wanted to bring that is important to you, whether it's your children. And for us, it was all of that. I was talking to a young lady, one of our leaders last night, who dropped some nuggets in my ear about leadership. And she said, you know what? She said, you know what I want right now? I just want my family. And think about that. She said, and then she broke down and started telling me what her family looked like. It wasn't just the immediate family. It was all the experiences, all the people who had poured life, all the people she had shared she said, even if I shared a cup of tea with you, I missed that today. That is what's up. There are people in our team that sitting us up here. They're like, I miss being with you guys. I miss being around you. And that's why I say, whatever way we can find to gather, whether it's at a Starbucks for an hour, sometimes you need to see it's high touch and high tech. Amway was good with that. That thing was intimate. It was so true. It is real today, because you still have to touch the people. They have to feel included. So you have to give them something to do. If they're not a part of it, they're going to go somewhere else where they feel like they're a part of something greater than themselves. Back to you, Rick and Brenda.
That is so true. One of the things I think that I know that's so important when a person joins, whether it's a gang or, like you were saying, Brenda, whether it's a company or a business, but it's a family. But it's so important for people to take advantage of the opportunity to grow. There's an opportunity to break the paradigm of how people were in their family. you know, I'm the runt. Nobody ever listens to me. That's a paradigm that people wear and bring with them wherever they go. They don't realize that, in this business, you can break that paradigm and that your voice actually matters. And so it's so important that we don't fall into how we always have interacted in our family growing up. Nobody ever listened to me. I don't have anything to say. And if people aren't careful, they'll find themselves, staying in the background just like they did growing up. When now, like you're saying, Chantel, everybody's a leader. You are a leader, and it's so important to be present. That you're going to have people that are going to be following you. You're going to have a family of your own. What do you want that family to look like? We are like the seed that everybody on this call is going to grow into something. Realize that you control that growth. Building a natural family. Who do you want? What do you want? What are the values? You want to be able to exercise that without a team, and then the team comes to that. As we was just talking, I was looking online and looking at the characteristics of a healthy family, and demonstrate how to handle conflict, tolerate diversity, disagreement, mutual respect, to prevent emotional abuse, cohesiveness, open communication, leading by example, setting clear expectations and limits, communication, listening to each other and communicating with openness and honesty, togetherness, sharing similar values and beliefs that create a sense of belonging and bonding, sharing activities, spending time together, doing things that you enjoy, like when we was all in Jamaica on our field trip. Still makes me laugh, especially in the van. We were just laughing with each other. Mutual respect, taking time for fun, and like you're saying, Brenda, constant encouragement, and like you say all the time, Chantel, communicating love. There are certain characteristics that a family is a creation, just like we are a creation. You are a creation. When you look at Brenda and I, we are a creation. We're not the same people when we joined this company. We are different people today because we've grown, we've taken advantage of affirmations, goal setting, vision, spiritual growth, all those things that over time will change you. And that's everybody on this call. But you're building something for somebody future that's going to find you. You don't want them to find you as you were back then. You want to do something, even working behind the scenes, that's going to continue to cause you to grow. Everybody on this call is a teacher. And in the past, before you became a parent, which you are right now in this company, you're looking for children. Those children will find you. When they find you, what are you looking to teach them? That's one of the areas of growth that Brenda and I think, have had the most is I learned something new so I can teach something new. Even like what I'm sharing with you in the seconds that we're talking on this call and saying, okay, well, what are the healthy attributes of a family? And I Google it and I see all these things that really are our family, our business family. But I also wanted to say, don't beat yourself up based on what you've done in the past. This is a new second for a new tomorrow. And don't beat yourself up for responding to the seasons that you were in your life, because you have to respond to the seasons. Don't beat yourself up for responding. Life will make you respond. Be flexible in life, or life will make you flexible, right? If you can intentionally be flexible. So don't beat yourself up for not being present in the past, or not being the parent in the past, or not saying affirmations, all the things that we're talking about. But set the agenda today, even after this call. Vision. Without a vision, people perish. Set the agenda for who you want to be and the team that you're going to attract. Like attracts like. And you're not wrong for anything that you've done in the past, but you have the ability, the creative ability, and I believe responsibility to say, here's a team that I'm going to build, right? And the people will show up. If you've been stagnant in the past, you move forward through relationships and the ability to build relationships. And why are people attracted to you? And here's what some people do. They intentionally make themselves unattractable when they're really attractable, when they're attractive, so that people don't find them, so that they're not visible to people. And that's a habit of people's past, where if I make myself likable, visible, I'm going to have a responsibility to do something. It's okay if you don't, but understand that in the business, you got to put up a sign so that people know you're in business. But if you want to move forward, if you want to create momentum, you do it through relationships. Brenda and I moved to Charleston, and Mary Stanley, who's part of another, Queen knows her, and Ron knows her, but she's part of the Hope Collection. Oh, you guys know her, Glenn and Chantel. She says, Rick, I want to introduce you to someone. And it turns out this lady is over the African American Genealogical Society in North Carolina. And so I talked to her a couple of days ago, and we're going to meet today. And she says, Rick, and she does a whole lot of other things, and building business and I mean, a lot of other things. She says, we're having a convention in Raleigh, North Carolina. My 90-something-year-old aunt, who Brenda and I are going to go visit, sometime shortly. We was trying to do it December, but it's going to turn out to be next year, early. She lives in the same city as my aunt. And so she says, Rick, well, we're having a convention in February in Raleigh, North Carolina. And so she tells me, Rick, that would be a great time. We'd love for you to come to this convention. And that would be a great time to visit your aunt. Ladies and gentlemen, we are connected by something bigger than ourselves. And so I said, sure, relationships and the ability to build, to allow people in to your relationship. And see, that's what it comes down to. Am I willing to allow people in to me? Because people are looking for you. And I'm telling you, it's true. The growth only is as much as you're willing to allow people in to the real you. And if you're able to do that, people see Coach's secret is that he allowed people in. Back to you, Brenda.
Wow, that was good. And you know what? Did somebody want to say something? That was really good.
Yes.
Allowing people in. Go right ahead.
Oh, this is Adrian, and hello everyone.
Hello, Adrian.
I just I agree with what everybody has said about recognition and things like that. But one of the things I want to add is just knowing that you are appreciated, because I can do something and not hear from somebody. But if I hear the word, oh, I really appreciate you or what you did, that seems to put a relief on things like, oh, what I'm doing is not in vain. So even just saying thank you and I appreciate you can make a big difference too. Back to you all.
Yes, that is so true.
That's
Words of
good.
affirmation. Words of affirmation. People love. I love words of affirmation. My my love language is gift of service. You know, I love doing things for people, and I love having things done for me. And so when you
That's
realize
how I
that
get
there's
ahead
so
in
many
life.
different ways, yeah, I mean, you know, you just
No,
have
Brenda. I'm
to
saying I said life, but I
what
meant Brenda.
whatever. But it's true. Words of affirmation is a love language. It's a love language, and people love to hear that. You know, they love to hear just oh, my daughter and touch, and we can go into all the different love languages, but just to say I appreciate what you
What
did.
are the love
I'm so
languages,
proud
Brenda?
of you. Oh my goodness. Let's see. It's acts of service, words of affirmation, gifts, and what's the fourth one? Words of affirmation, acts of service, gifts is one, and then there's the last one. What's the last one?
Something about time.
Touch. Touch.
Yeah,
Touch.
Something
Quality
about
time.
touching and quality
Quality
time.
and time.
right.
Words
Quality
of
time.
affirmation,
And
acts of service, receiving gifts,
right.
quality time, and physical touch.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Well, I like gifts. No, I like gifts. But yeah, even knowing and even knowing what you like. See, that's another thing that's important too. When you talk about affirmations and acts of service, what is your love language? I mean, that's a whole nother conversation right there, because knowing what you like, you know, I love when Rick picks up the vacuum cleaner. So when he does
Help
those
me,
acts
Lord.
of service and cleaning,
Help
I
me,
love
Jesus. Help me, Jesus.
like that. So knowing what you love is very important. And then being able to give it back to people, being able to say, well, I really like that, so I'm going to do that for you. So I can go over somebody's house. Well, it's usually family, not strangers. And I'll just start cleaning and I'll put the dishes away because I love doing that kind of stuff. And I love having it done for myself. So when you find that and then you do it, you figure that's a great way of communicating with people that you care.
I like
So
physical
that
touch.
the act of,
Think about it. What is your love language? And here are the
You
5.
know, maybe we need to do the. Maybe we need to read that book.
Yeah, by Dr. Gary
yeah, it's a good
Chapman.
book. Yeah. Mhm.
But what is
Mhm.
yours? What you think? Words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, physical touch. You know what? I really do believe this is that people's love language is something that was generated or something that they received or did not receive as a child or a baby.
Mm.
Mm,
Mm.
You know what I mean?
that's
Yeah,
good. That's
they
good.
never gave me any affirmation. They never did
Right.
anything for me. I never received no gifts. Nobody gave me quality time. I was always by myself. No one, we have, there are families that don't even touch each other. I never got touched. You people don't touch, we don't hug, we don't. You were starving possibly for it growing up. And now it becomes something that you recognize when people do that you appreciate. That's heavy duty. Back to you, Brenda.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when
That's good. That's
so
good.
we're, okay, so we're having this conversation, and I'm a word of, you know what? Once you receive it, you got to activate that. Okay, because it's okay to tell people what you desire, what you don't desire. I don't, that has become really, as I'm getting older, I've come more into, if you're gonna buy something for me, get me something I like. You know what I mean? I'm just saying,
Mm.
if you're doing something for a person, don't just randomly. If you can see the piles in people's homes, and they're just like, what am I going to do with all this stuff? Because somebody sent me this and I can't even use this. I'm allergic to this. I mean, just it is okay for you to put your desires out here. You know, we're all growing into ourselves still. Things I like yesterday, I may not like today. Things you like yesterday, you may not like today.
It's true.
I think I am a variety of the I'm gonna go in there and do, because I've never really read that whole book. And I'm gonna do that because I think that's something that it can potentially leap us into another level as a team. And we all get to choose what that looks like. But for me, it is this word about team that has been, for the last 2 years, that thing has been sitting on me because I'm watching teams. It is the best team that wins in that day. I was listening to Glenn, and you talking about a champion of champions. When you run with that and you've seen it, and they know how to get to that target, but there is something in between that's a blocker kind of thing, is what I'm trying to get to. But when you're running with a team and the team sees, okay, she fell down, let me go over here and pick her up and get her up. Let me go back and check on him. Maybe where's so-and-so? I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. That is huge. And Eric Worre talks about it greatly. He says, because I'm telling you, if you start looking at those numbers and you forget about the feeling of the person's life, what are they going through? What have they lived through and to? How can I help you get up? You know, and that's a sacrifice for a lot of, because people don't realize that your life is loaded. You got all this stuff going on, yet I'm coming over here because I want to see that. I know that one you just said, it's the quality time. I'm coming over here to take an hour out of my day to get you up. That's a big deal to me because we don't get the time back. And it's not about me. It is about you. When I show up, it's about you. It is your time to win. That thing is just, I'm like, you can win. Allow yourself to win. Why not? And look, we had the guy that said, why not us? And I took that to heart. You should see the stuff up in here. But why not us? Why can't you go and sit in a meeting in a Starbucks and present this to somebody for in a 20-minute span? Why not you? Put me in, coach. That was Coach Summer. Put me in. He's like, come on. I put everybody in here. I need all y'all in here, right? Whatever that is you brought to this team, we need it. Coming into we need that gift that you have. Back to you, Rick and Brenda.
No, pain reveals purpose. And the pain that we go through is so that we can actually get compassion to teach. So growing up, people had different things they went through. That's what's used to teach. That's what God uses to instill compassion, to teach and to share. From that pain, results in, the power for purpose. That thing that we went through, even in looking at the language, which love language, the thing that you lacked most that generated your love language, whether it's word of affirmations, physical touch, receiving gifts, whatever that is, or acts of service, you went through that so that you could give that. So you have the compassion to actually give that. Brenda will go into anybody's house and she'll start cleaning. And if she's not cleaning, she's
not anybody's house.
But check this out. In her mind, she will start cleaning. I mean, you recognize, right? I mean, even though she doesn't do anything, but in her mind, she will start cleaning. Acts of service, that is an act of service. But that's anybody. The thing that you see is the responsibility that you have to take action for whatever it is. And so if you're looking at love languages and you actually went through something where that was withheld from you, you now can see that. And so now that actually becomes a tool that you can give that to others and not withhold it from others. You actually are empowered to give that now to others. The thing that you can see, like Adrienne, when she's talking about the appreciation, the power that she has to say to someone, I saw that and I appreciate that, those words will come from another place, right? Because, I mean, even when she was telling us, we all felt it, right? And that's all she said. But it went deep. The love language, and whatever created the love language in you, you now have the power and I believe responsibility and compassion to give that to others and to not withhold it from others that maybe it was withheld from you. And that becomes, see, Chantel, that's what we were talking about when we were saying people walking in their passion, in their purpose, on purpose. That's one of those things that will draw and build a team for you. What is that compassion that you have that was naturally put in you based on something growing up you may have been deprived of? That now becomes a superpower. Man, that's some good preaching right there. If you
If
understood,
he says so himself.
as I said, so, hey, no, check this out. Check this out. As the Spirit said so himself. That's what you use to build a team. That's coach's superpower. That's any leader's superpower. Why? Because they're speaking from a place that they know. And so when you're love conquers all, right? And so if you're dealing in love language and you understand words of affirmation, like if you actually even just Google it, right? It's going to show you how to communicate it, actions to take, things to avoid. So words of affirmation, how to communicate, encourage, affirm, like Adrian said, appreciate, empathize, listen actively. See, you're building a team. Actions to take, send an unexpected note or text or card. Encourage genuinely and often, words of affirmation. Things to avoid, non-constructive criticism, not recognizing or appreciating effort. This is you as a leader understanding this to build your team. Physical touch, and I'll just talk about this one and not the others, but nonverbal use of body language and touch to emphasize love. Hug or kiss or hold hands, show physical affection regularly. If somebody is lacking that sound, as a leader, understanding all of these five, when you're meeting people, you can get a sense of what they're lacking and give it to them. Don't withhold it, but give it. Man, you talk about a superhero. Back to you, Brenda.
Yes, it is definitely something that is good. When you learn
Brenda, can you hear me?
yours. Yes, go right on ahead.
So let me chime in and give my 2 cents with a couple things that have been said. I've had to drive to get to where I'm at now, but I want to shout out to Glenn and just say not only Glenn, but I'm having a brain fart here, and his beautiful wife, Chantel. Sorry, I got it. It finally came to me. This is what happens when you get old, by the way. So I highly advise not to do that. Don't get old. So I just want to shout out to Chantel and Glenn for reaching out from time to time because of the things that I'm going through physically and physically primarily, and with the toll that it's taken on my ability to do things that I used to do without even thinking about it. But I appreciate the fact that you guys are actually leaders in action. You're walking the talk. I also want to reach out and say to you, Brenda, that we should certainly appreciate all those cookies and cheese and stuff like that at your house. So
thank you.
And then finally, it's interesting how when you guys were talking earlier about giving ourselves some credit. Isn't it interesting how much time we spend beating ourselves up rather than patting ourselves on the back a little bit, or at least encouraging ourselves for the things that we do that are good. And then one other thought finally is for those of you that walk into houses where people that have stuff that they don't need, that's why they've got goodwill. So gift it to somebody else that could definitely use it. That's all I got.
Thank you so much, Mariano. That was good.
That is funny. I love, it's a part of who we are, but I love listening to the military community have a conversation, because it's like, okay, you got this, okay, we'll take this over here. And it's like, it's just that simple. You just got the goodwill, just go take this. Like, that would be so wonderful. We appreciate you, Mariano. And all of you in here who are sitting here quietly, and you get to, but it's something about hearing your voice. I don't know what that is. It's just something. When you see the people, it's like, what are they thinking? But you're so important. We want to hear from you. Because as we're putting this meeting together over here, we're going to be calling up all the leaders over here, and because you are so great at what you do. And we're going to invite you to sit in this room, whatever way that happens, because you are that important in this team. And we want to see you touch people like that. You know what? That on demand tells it all. Go and take a minute to look at that. When you see the power of a team coming together and the different voices and inputs, that thing blew me away. And I use it often, because just to hearing the different portions that we bring, it was a game changer for me. I'm still sending it out to people because it works. And it's good. It is absolutely good. Thank you so much. Back to you, Rick and Brenda.
Oh, and speaking of that, someone named Myra used it that you sent to the, I meant to
explain what the on-demand is, Brenda.
Well, on-demand is what we put together with the team that does the presentation.
On-demand
so
webinar.
At any time you can go to on-demand, and it is Surge, what do we call it?
SurgePro365.com.
And it allows your guests to put in a time that they want to watch the presentation. And it comes up like it's happening right at that time. So if they log on, it might tell them it's getting ready to start in a few minutes, and they can log on and watch it. Or it'll start, I think we did it every 15 minutes. So they can register even a day out to get notified that the webinar is starting, and they can watch it. I really love that tool, and shout out to Juliet, because Juliet pays that fee. There's a monthly fee for this on-demand, and Juliet pays it. And so it allows our team to access it, Dawn's team to access it, and I don't know if anybody else does, but we were able to make our own private video. And so when you send people there, that's what they see. Dawn, Kelly, and Mary, they made their own little video, and when they send people there, that's what people will see. But I really, I think it's a great tool. I think it allows you to now expose your business as often as you like by just sending people an invitation to the presentation. And I think it's something that we should really start using more and more. When someone registers to take to watch the presentation, it pops up on my email, because you have to have one email. And that's why I said Myra popped up, and she didn't put who invited her to watch it. So I emailed her and I asked her, and she said Chantel.
Oh, nice. What?
When was that? When did she watch it, Brenda?
It said she signed up for it. I didn't pay attention. Hold on a second. I can go check and see when she signed up.
I'm sure.
Yes, it was just yesterday, but I don't remember what time.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
It works.
It's a real good tool.
About. I gave her that video back towards Thanksgiving time, somewhere up in there, because she had messengered me and says, I want to look at your company. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to send you this Take a look
Nice.
at it when you get a chance. And life with her greatly, I want you to know. And she said, I sure will. And so now that she had a minute to settle down, she went in there and looked at that. So I'll be calling her.
Nice.
But Myra is a person that is so dedicated to growing people by relationship. She is great at that.
Yeah,
I
she
met her
registered
years
to watch
ago.
it. She registered to watch it Tuesday, December 5th at 1:15 Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, great.
Nice.
Yeah.
So all
Mhm.
these tools, they're working in their timing, but it's
Yes.
the keep putting it out, keep putting it out, keep putting it out there, and somebody is going to click on that bad boy. And we're in the season. Look, we're in our greatest season here.
It's true.
We are the season. People are going, man, I'm telling you, people are going everywhere. If you go into any form of social media and all these people that are meeting in all these groups, I'm like, I'm just over here praying. I'm like, open the window, Father, open the door, open something so that they can see how valuable this tool is to their organization that is trapped. Just like Eric Worre and those people. Who is bold enough to step up to Eric Worre? Come on, somebody. And he's just a person, just like any of us. And he has relationship with the ones who show up because he's talking to you real time, looking in your eyeballs. These people are traveling to these meetings all over the world, and all they need
True.
is a tool. And you know, billionaires like money. I'm just saying. Back to you, Rick and
And the thing is, you can't tell people, they have to see it with their own eyes. And when their eyes become open, they will see you. Because if you try to force and tell anybody, they run. They have to want it. They have to see it. They have to, and when it's time and when it's their season, they will see you. You become visible. That's amazing how that actually works. That they have to see it. You can't even show it to them. You can't even tell them about it. You can't even force it on them. It's almost, well, there's no assertion. There's only attraction. There's no assertion. But I want to stress this before, we close. Something I said earlier is that don't beat yourself up because of whatever season of life that you've been in. You got to do that. You got to respond to life. And if it's a life where the business hasn't been at the forefront, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Timing is perfect. Your timing will always be perfect. You know, when that time for you to be empowered to do the things that need to get done. I always think about, Adrienne and sharing the opportunity with Glenn and Chantel and how Glenn and Chantel tell the story and how she was trying to attract them, trying to let them know that we got some, but it wasn't until they saw it. When they saw it, she couldn't turn them away. It was on her like white on rice. you know, but that couldn't have happened before. And so whatever season that you're in life, it's okay. Because what's yours is yours and it will come to you if you're steadfast, unmovable, always abounding, with walking in your purpose on purpose and walking with your vision. This one of my secrets in us being seven-figure earners in this business is understanding the power of becoming and the power of prayer. Those are the things that attracted the people that took us to the next level. We became what we saw, who we needed to be to attract who we wanted to attract. We just became it. And then we prayed it. And God brought it. Become it, pray it, and God will bring it. Back to you, Brenda.
Look, before you
Wow.
leave, I want to put this challenge out here to these ears. So, 5 of those Surge Pro365.com out here today. 5. I want to challenge us, whoever so will do that, to do it.
That's good, and it's simple. All you gotta do is invite people to go watch it.
Repeat that again.
I want to challenge us to put that on demand out to 5 people today.
Oh, amen.
Just five people.
Surge365.com.
Nice. Nice. I think we can do it. I met 2 people in Hobby Lobby buying Christmas stuff that invited me to go to lunch. I can send it to them.
It's that simple. Come on.
Yeah, it is.
Use the tools. Now, you know what? That's a good point. Okay, so your leadership, Brenda and I, we believe in tools. We have SurgePro365.com, which is an on-demand webinar. We have GoTeamGet.com, which is our team website. If a new person comes in, you can click on new SBA. If they're new to the team, send them there. It'll walk them through all the things they need to do to lay the foundation, to take the training. They can download documents. One of the things that we want to do is put the tools in place so that there's a place where people can go get consistent information, where they don't have to pull everything together and over here, where they understand why they're in the back office. The GoTeamGet.com new SBA page brings everything together, where now when they go into the back office, they see how things all connect and how they relate. Use these tools. You know, Mariano and Glenn, you know, the military guys on this call, military women on this call, train like you fight, fight like you train. Unless you have a way that people can pretty much automate the training, you haven't really done your job yet. Us as leaders understand the tools that have been put in place. My whole idea is not to repeat myself every time, but to put tools in place that will tell a consistent story. Back to you, Brenda.
Wow, that's good. Anybody else?
Hey,
And I really want to go.
I'm sorry. It's Deborah.
Go ahead, Deborah.
I'm enjoying the conversation, so thank you, Chantel, for pushing my button again. But to Brenda and Marie, I just want to say I appreciate all that you do, even though what I consider a little thing. Those last videos you put on with just the jazz and the pictures and things, you had no idea how that affects me. It brought back dreams that I had forgotten about. So just the little things, you never know how it affects people. When you were playing those videos, I had to download them because I had forgotten certain dreams and certain feelings and certain good places in my life. And when you put those videos out, it just start bringing back those things. So I just want to thank you for that. You made it, God, you were just doing it.
Thank
really
you for that
touched
feedback.
me. So thank you.
Thank you for the feedback.
Yes, thank you so much for the feedback, because he loves putting those videos together, and he takes time to find the right music to go with it. And it's something that he enjoys doing. So, and knowing that you enjoyed watching it, I know that meant a lot for you to tell him that.
And so, the music is really what I mean, in the scenery too, it just gave hope, and it just brought back. I was at that place at one time and I had totally forgot about it because of, things happen in your life. So it was very, very inspiring, including all the music. So thank you so much.
Amen. It's a work of the Spirit. I praise the Lord for it. That is a work of the Spirit. He how God impels you to do something and empowers you to do it, and you do it. And you don't know what the result is, but to get feedback on what the result is just beautiful. Because even looking at our home, that we moved out of, but we built, and that was a serious home. Even when I look back at the pictures, like even when I look at any of it, it's like out of body experience that God would do it for me, for Brenda. And if he will do it for us, like you're saying, Deborah, he'll do it for anybody. And standing on the word and the word of God. But I got to say this, there's a responsibility that comes of action, that he tells you to do something that completes the loop, you know, and where most people drop the ball is God gives you something for something. And when we can do that something that he tells us to do, it completes the loop. You know what I mean? Because God's no respecter of person.
We hear you, Ed.
And
Yeah, I'm still here.
yeah, God's no respecter of
Okay.
person though. But when he gives you something as simple as even a video, or like you say, Chantel, the words that you get in the morning, the words you say, Glenn, when those are powerful words that create something. When you hear Brenda talk about her dreams, she brings a lot of the things that you see in the videos to pass based on her statements. And the video is just a documentation record of the blessing. And that's why I do the videos. It's a documentation proof of the words of declaration, the words of affirmation. People would not believe that we actually lived and built that home, except they saw it. They wouldn't believe we go on all these trips unless they see it. There's something that God wants to do in each of us to be a testimony. Ooh. Everybody on this call is like a testimony. You in affirmation are a walking testimony, Deborah. Adrian, Queen, Ed, you guys are a walking testimony of what he's already done. And now look to the future. Ooh, back to you, Brenda.
My
And
husband.
Darlene.
Okay. And everybody on the call, I have to answer that call. I said, okay, yes, everybody on the call, we appreciate these calls, and I love the fact that the whole love language came up. Adrian, I appreciate you saying what you said about word of affirmation, because that just snowballed it to have another conversation about how that is so important to know what your love language is. I love everybody who gets on the call, even if you're just listening, even when you speak and share, because it does something for all of us. Just your presence alone, it means something. Your energy, it means something. So I appreciate everybody in our team. I know our team is going to explode. I know we're going to have hundreds and thousands of people that are in our team. We're going to all branch off and do our own call, because I know this is going to happen, because this is the foundation and this is how it starts. And we're all learning, so we'll be prepared to do it when it's our time. So I appreciate everybody for jumping on Thursday. Remember, this is the holiday season, so remember to find out what the word of affirmation is. And I'll have Rick put that book up on the group page, so you could probably even find it on YouTube, because it's been around for quite a while. And I know YouTube sometimes have audio versions where you can listen to it. So look for the book. If you can get a hard copy, if you can listen to it, if you can download it and read it, because it's definitely something that we need to learn. And when something's put out in the atmosphere, that means that it's for us to do. Like Chantel said, when you hear something, then you take action on it. So let's take action on finding out what this is and why this conversation came up today on Thursday, because everything happens for a reason. Everything is said for you to hear, learn, and act on it. So I appreciate everybody. I look forward to talking to you guys Sunday night, Monday night, whichever one you jump on, and then next week, Thursday, definitely. So everybody have a great rest of your day. Get out there, connect with Chantel's challenge to get that SurgePro365.com. That takes people to On Demand, and then go to it yourself. and watch it. It's really easy, simple. You'll see our team, and we're just so excited about all the great things that are happening. So everyone have a great rest of your day, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. And definitely we're going to hang out on the beaches of the world. Okay, bye-bye now.
Goodbye. Thank you.